The following is rated F for fairness. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Welcome to the audio show.
Friends, my job is getting more and more difficult. I recorded an entire video for you, but I had to stop the video because basically I realized that I could not just look at this on the surface level and I had to go do some research. Don't worry, I've done the research and I hope, let's see, because you know the Wayne channels they tend to basically see exactly, if O'Neal is going to do something and then, but it doesn't matter to me though. I love the content and I'm always learning from the content. So let's see what's going on. So Anthony is deciding to invite Denisha over. Remember I said today, the law rewards the vigilant and not the indolent. Is Anthony vigilant or is he indolent? One of the two. Let's jump into it. Let's go.
Hello.
Hey girl, what you doing?
Oh, nothing. What you doing?
Nothing. Just thinking about you like always.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I left your house, and when I finally got to my house, I realized that I left something.
You leave something. Why exactly you leave over at Denisha's house, Anthony? What exactly did you leave? Like, where you leave? Like a brief? Where you leave? Like a shirt, a pants, I don't know, a shoes, I don't know what, a socks? Where you leave? Where you leave over there? That's the question. What did you leave, sir?
What you mean?
You.
Oh goodness, here you go.
Yeah, that's where she's supposed to stay, over her house. You left her where she was supposed to stay, right? That's what I'm thinking, right, friends? That's where I'm supposed to leave her.
You left me.
Yeah, I left you. I want you to come over to my house tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna come over there and you have to drive all the way back home. I don't know if I feel like tonight.
You don't.
So let me get this right. So Anthony is trying to get Denisha to come over to his house in his marital property that he and his wife share currently, because they still currently share the home. And he's trying to get a divorce and he's trying to keep 50% of his assets. I think him crazy, but you know what? Let's keep running it.
I have to drive home.
What you mean I don't have to drive home? How else am I gonna get home? I don't feel like Ubering and doing none of that either.
You want to stay tonight?
Stay the night?
You can hear the hesitation in Denisha's voice because she can't believe Anthony is asking her to do all of this nonsense. Like, she really and truly can't believe that Anthony is asking this because it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, I want you here tonight in my home. You don't gotta go home. Oh, what, you too good for my house? Oh, I get it. You too good for Mr. Anthony's house.
But stay the night? Oh, I don't know. That's it. Stay the night?
Yeah.
Anthony, you really think that Denisha staying at your house the night is really a good idea right now, considering the circumstances and the situations that you're in? Would that be actually a very, very good idea though, sir? I'm asking the question. No, let me pinpoint to Denisha, because Denisha needs to come into this as well. I'm going to have to now check Denisha. I'm hoping Denisha does not come, right? I know Amber fans, them want different. For them want Denisha to come. Don't worry, Amber fans. I'm quite aware as to how to think anything against Anthony is what y'all want. But I'm going to argue in the defense of Denisha and her child. Not in defense, because Denisha is a grown woman. She can manage herself. I'm hoping she doesn't go because she's a single mother. And she doesn't have time to be involving herself in married people's business at their house. She already doing enough going off with this married man. But going to this married man's house, you don't know what his wife is liable to do. And what type of situation you're liable to put yourself in. If that father is gone, which is the father for Kai is gone, and she's the one taking care of this child, then she needs to be as fit as possible and not to put herself in a precarious scenario with a careless man like Anthony, because this is careless of him not. It's careless. It's absolutely careless. But I hope she says no. Let's see.
I want you here with me. You know? So
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope not. Okay. Honestly, no. Denisha is now starting to move extremely reckless. So now Denisha needs checks. So Anthony does need checking, but Denisha does need checking. What are the implications of Anthony bringing Denisha over to the home? Considering what we know, maybe I can pull something up. And again, this is why I said that this took me some time. Because now I had to do a bunch of research to get you some information as to what sense this make, how will they look at this, blah, blah, blah. And again, friends, I'm not a lawyer. Thank you. Go find a legal person. This is a show that is basically commenting on what we see with these skits. Let's jump in. So I took the liberty of writing out the story using our good old friend ChatGPT, but of course, I wanted them to cite sources of similar cases. So no, it's not just, what you call it, vague, you know what I mean, research. So we wrote out Anthony's story with the main parts, but we're not doing everything in this. So listen to what we wrote. Anthony's wife files for a divorce because he cheated during the relationship and had a baby. The wife did forgive him first, and they even did a vow renewal, right? They lived together after that for about a year, and then his wife asked for a divorce on the grounds of the baby, or whatever it is. 2 months after, Anthony's wife files for a divorce. Anthony started dating someone else. Anthony even spent money on the woman. One day, Anthony decided to take the woman to his marital home that he and his wife share. Anthony did have the house before marriage, but his wife lives there. How could the court and the judge look at Anthony taking his wife to the house? Please cite similar source. And of course, we're dealing with Georgia law. So we can skip all of this. I'm going to get you down to the meat of the matter, to what I've seen. All right. So the meat of the matter is the arguments them. That's what we're trying to find out. How the court look and stuff like this. We don't know. Again, friends, I'm not a lawyer. O'Neal just is a person who do look at research just so he can help himself to understand what he's seeing or get an inkling, get into a good enough direction. Likely judicial reactions in this specific scenario. A realistic judge might think arguments against Anthony. You already caused the original marital damage. Your wife forgave you and attempted reconciliation. These are in Amber's favor. In other words, they must say the judge could look at it this way. Your wife forgave you and attempted to reconcile, but it is what it is. You are still married and sharing the home. Then they could look at bringing a girlfriend into the home was unnecessarily inflammatory. In other words, you remember that the party that Amber went to? This may be what Amber's lawyer is talking about. The unnecessarily inflammatory kind of thing. So now the argument could go against Anthony that, hey, bringing Denisha at the house is unnecessarily inflammatory. In other words, you're creating more issues in the situation. Well, this is how Anthony's lawyer, I guess, could argue. This is what she could argue. These now are for Anthony. So you have the arguments against Anthony, the arguments for Anthony. Your wife did file for a divorce. Them using that one. You are allowed to move forward emotionally. They're using that. Next one is the home is legally yours if it remains separate property. That's if, and that's a big if. That we don't know. Again, friends, I don't know. We're just giving you what we can give you. Next one, dating alone does not decide property rights. So now y'all are seeing exactly how them could look at this. So you have some arguments for and you have arguments against Anthony. In other words, argument that Amber's lawyer could use, argument that his lawyer could use. How the judge might basically look at it. Because like I said to people, it's gray. Like there's no set thing. So listen to this. The girlfriend coming into the house probably would not cause Anthony to lose the house. Especially if it was his premarital property, so that we don't know. That has to remain, or if it don't remain, you know that works. But it could affect how the judge views his conduct, credibility, possible financial dissipation, and overall divorce negotiations. Again, the word we keep using, optics. We keep using the word optics, how the optics look. Remember, in a court, you tell a story. That's why O'Neal keeps saying that. You're telling a story. I'm just giving you what my lawyer friend continued to say to me. O'Neal, you're telling a story. How well you tell the story determines on the outcome you get in court. All right, so let's look at some cases. So I looked at the Benson versus Ward case in Georgia appeals. That's in 2007. This is probably one of the closest cases on the judge's perception of the spouse moving on with his girlfriend during the divorce process. And look at this. The husband was accused of adultery. Evidence showed that he has moved from the marital home directly into his girlfriend house. So that don't work. That doesn't work. So that's out. The trial court considered the husband's conduct when evaluating the divorce circumstances and property division. See that? They're showing you how in this case they looked at him conduct. Next thing is the husband argued the court gave too much weight to adultery. That was his argument. However, because of whatever it is, the perception of it looked like that. This is another case, Stone versus Stone. This was done in 2009. Friends, I just do this. I just do this. Friends, stop. Don't come over here with a pro-Amber thing. Only just argue on both sides. I'm just showing you where the court might look at. Just so you understand it and so O'Neal can learn. If you don't like this type of content, friends, and if you haven't liked the like button yet, don't worry. Hop off, it's fine. I guess I'm not for you. But if I am for you and you like this and you like to learn, please hit a like and make sure you're hyping the video. So Stone versus Stone, the case involved financial actions connected to the marital home during divorce. The court dealt with the spouse taking money connected to the marital residence during the divorce and whether the financial misconduct mattered. Here you go. If Anthony spent marital money on the girlfriend, gifts, vacation, hotel expenses, luxury items, the wife could argue dissipation of marital assets. Again, that's what Amber can argue. Let's go. Snowden versus Alexander Snowden. So that's what we're going at right now. The case deal with, so this is what the house was brought into marriage. The Georgia Supreme Court explained that when the property existed before marriage, the courts used the source of rules funds to determine whether the property remains separate or gain a marital component. In other words, they're saying there's something called source of funds rule. So there's a rule in Georgia that they use for that particular case. And look at what them say with it. How it applies to Anthony. Anthony, who went in the house before marriage, helps him, but it does not end the analysis. The court would look at these things. Did the wife contribute money? Did the marital funds pay the mortgage? Were improvements made? Did the property appreciate because of marital effort? So again, it depends upon what Amber can show. This is why I say the law rewards who? The vigilant and not the indolent. Because basically, Amber can argue things as well too. Another court case. Highsmith and Highsmith. Georgia Supreme Court 2011. Case involved the classification of property and equitable division. The Supreme Court emphasized that trial courts must properly separate separate assets, marital property, and appreciation funds. How it applies. Anthony may keep his premarital interest, but his wife could still have a claim depending on the marital contribution. So that one is just like that one as well. So are you seeing this? Are you guys seeing this? What would a judge likely think about Anthony bringing a girlfriend into the home? The judge might say, the house may legally belong to Anthony, but this was still the marital residence and his wife was living there. Possible consequences, likely not. Losing the house automatically. Likely not what happened. Wife getting the house because he brought the girlfriend there. Likely not to happen. Possible circumstances. Possible things I'm looking at. The judge views Anthony as acting unnecessarily provocative. In other words, them are going to say basically Anthony is provoking the situation, so this doesn't work in his favor. That's what them are trying to tell you right here. So this don't work in his favor. Wife argues emotional cruelty. Yes, no, she's going to argue that Anthony is extremely cruel. No. See how the condemnation defense basically starts to fall apart because now he's doing the same thing. Next thing, wife uses it as evidence of marriage breakdown. If she can use that. Court scrutinizes money spent on the girlfriend. So you're looking on this. So look at the final things, friends. The strongest issue for the wife is probably not the girl entering the house. It is Anthony cheated. The wife forgave him. They renewed vows. They resumed marital life. Anthony later began another relationship. He spent marital resources. I just wanted to show you that. Maybe later on I can do one where it involves Amber with Dave, but for right now, you wanted to see what it was like bringing Denisha into the house. Friends, I hope that you like this content. Please, I hope you love them content. I do try. I really do try. Like I try. I do try. And Dumbo does not make it any better for anyone at all, including his lawyer, by doing all of this. But again, like I said before, this is why I want Anthony to lose, because he doesn't understand what he's actually doing, what he's into, and he has started to become, like Wayne has said, very, very sloppy. He's been off of his game and he's become very, very sloppy. Anyways, friends, give me y'all take on this. Want to think? I want to see y'all in the comments. I did all of this for y'all. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm going to talk to y'all soon.